Tavares contract, I do like the idea that he said, look, man, I just want to play here. Let's make something happen. So it's great he's in the fold, but I just have to ask this, I hope this is the last time that I have to discuss the John Tavares. It's great he's in the fold, but I want to know, in a Game 5, Game 4, 5, 6, and 7, how are you going to win a playoff series with him on your roster? That's what I want to know. Like, how is he going to be a main contributing positive factor?
Well,
it's great you got him at a number you wanted, but that's my next question. How are you going to win with him on your team?
Well, I think there is a different mix a little bit, and it depends on where he factors in.
He's still going to be one of the main guys,
center.
Jamie. It's not like he's going to be getting spot duty.
Well, that's I guess the million-dollar question is, if the team looks a little different next year, because it's not going to look amazingly different, but you are going to have to allocate Mitch Marner's money to upgrading, or at least
they got money that they're kind of going to weaponize here, right? Like they got flexibility for the first time in a long time.
And the team is going to look different or feel a little bit different without Mitch Marner there. But it comes back to the comment that Hayes said at the start of the show. A lot of teams are keeping the players that they have and saying, you know what, maybe Florida was the outlier. Maybe Florida is just, hey, we don't run into Florida and we're a pretty damn good team. That's kind of what you're seeing the message throughout the league is, everyone's dying to keep their own players because
that is crazy.
Honest to God.
Yeah,
you're
well,
seeing
that's
that.
what it sounds like. It like Winnipeg's trying to keep Ehlers, and I don't know about Vancouver and Besser, but we know Florida's trying to keep Marchand.
Well, it sounds like Demko's signing an extension.
Demko's signing an extension there, but here's the thing about that question, and you're not wrong, but I think it has to apply to the other guys as well. Like, doesn't that have to? You got to ask Austin Matthews first.
Yeah.
Like, forget John Tavares. Austin hasn't won anything. Like, he hasn't.
I guess, Brian, you could start with that question right there. Austin Matthews, you're going to be our captain, the man leading the charge, the man making $13 million. How are we going to win with you being our lead guy?
That's where it starts, the pecking order. John has to answer as well, and Nylander and Morgan Riley and all these guys.
Yeah, very fair.
It doesn't start with John. And I think, again, with the contract being what it is, he's still an important piece, and he's got to outperform the number. That's the equation that's necessary in a hard cap system. All of your players, and the majority of them, have to outperform what their cap number is. So he can't play like a $4.3 million guy. You got to play like a $7 million guy. Then you got real value. But the $13.5 million guy's got to play like a $15 million guy in the biggest games. So it starts with Austin. I'm curious what Tree Living's going to do here. Like there does appear to be the connection to Brad Marchand, and they have money. They can throw out $8 million a year, maybe $9 million. That's a big price to pay a 37-year-old.
I'm not doing that at all. That is so desperate to want that and need. It's almost pathetic to need that in your locker room so bad. After all they've done over the years, we got to get Marleau, we got to get Thornton, we got to get this guy, we got to get that guy. That intangible should already be in there with the money that's been allocated to the players in the past. To 37-year-old, 4 years times $8 or $9 million, I think that would be insane, man. Well, even if I love Brad Marchand,
I agree. But the one thing too is, they don't have to build their team tomorrow. They've got lots of time to do this.
Absolutely.
So it might be you hold on and you wait 10 games. You wait 20 games to see if you can keep flexibility, to see if there's a team that thought they were good and then realized they weren't. And then you go, okay, we'll take your $8 or $9 million player off of your hands. And this is the one thing that these managers, there is going to be some overspending and some craziness that happens tomorrow. We obviously want that. We're going to be sitting there for 7 hours. But you can also go, we got a really good team here, and we might have some flexibility when a team decides to move away from player X, player Y.
Yeah.
Or maybe a team goes nuts tomorrow in free agency and goes, I got to dump a player. I need to dump a $7 million player overboard to make the numbers work by the start of the season. Then you put your hand up and go, we'll take that player.
Yeah, I think that's important to point out. Like, having flexibility is a good thing. You don't just have to spend to the cap tomorrow. And the inconsistencies with the Marchand comment or conversation about his contract, it's conflicting because I'd love to see him here. I mean, like, first and foremost, I think you would say the same thing. Noodles, everybody.
Yeah.
Who would not want him in Toronto? Like, the idea of that player, that personality, what he's represented, what he just
simple
played
fact
like.
He's punted the Leafs 5
Exactly.
times
And
in the playoff series.
like, the idea of Marner out, Marchand in is the ultimate, like, Leaf fan distraction, right? Like, where Marner, for 10 years, I always felt very uncomfortable with the media, always very, felt just very uncomfortable, like, just expressing himself and talking. I'm not taking shots I didn't take during his tenure. Said that forever. I'm not talking about his on-ice play. I'm just saying how he dealt with stuff, how he talked, how he spoke, how he handled things. Marchand will come in here, put his feet up, and just be like, let's go. I hope the Leafs allow him to, right? They better know what they're getting. They better not put a muzzle on him or tell people you can't talk to him or whatever. Let him be himself, and I think that immediately would be the biggest change in terms of just the voice of Marchand from Marner. But we just pumped the Leafs tires for making sure Tavares took an appropriate deal. Making sure Nyes took an appropriate deal, which Nyes got paid. Like, I didn't think it was a massive team win. I just think it's a good deal. I don't think, put it this way. 6 years ago, Nyes probably gets 6 years at $10 million. And they're like, just pay him, get it done, whatever. That was the attitude of the previous administration. It's changed here. So how do you stay consistent with that and then get to Marchand and say, what's it going to take?
No
and
kidding.
you're overpaying him.
Yeah.
Like,
You're right. You can't go from Nye saying, don't even think about asking for that because we don't play that game anymore.
Yes.
That was not our deal. And then it's like, Brad, just write
What, $9 million, $10 million? Fine, we'll just give it to you when you know it's an overpayment.
I don't think you can do
tough.
it, man. Like,
yeah, it's tough.
Honestly,
it's a challenge.
even at 37 years old, like, I don't know.
That is the challenge that I think they're going to have.
4 years? No way, man.
But that's the thing. What if it's a big number at a smaller term?
I wouldn't be shocked, guys, if the Boston Bruins said, you know what, maybe we screwed up by not offering that guy like this or that or whatever, and they circle back and say, we're going to make things right. I bet you that's on the table.
I think it's on the table, but I don't think they screwed up. They bottomed out because their year stunk. They traded Brad Marchand to Florida and got a first-rounder for him because they won the Cup.
They got a second-rounder.
No,
it
it
was a conditional that turned in.
converted to a first when they went to the Cup.
But with that in mind, Noodles, you're right. But by all accounts, the reporting's been out there. He was basically begging them to meet in the middle.
Yeah,
now,
he wanted an extension.
He's not begging anymore. Like, he's going to be like, whatever I said I'd take 2 months ago, up that by $3 million. That's tough to justify if you're in Boston.
What I'm saying is they bottomed out last year, and they moved an asset and got a first rounder for him. I guarantee you they'll circle back with him. Yeah, the numbers changed, but it's still the same player. It's still their captain that they traded away, and he could seamlessly retool on the fly. You're going to have a healthy McAvoy. You're going to, like, to me, you'll have Swayman not battling through a contract. Now he's hit the ground running. Like, they could absolutely get Brad Marchand back in the mix. Yes, I believe the number will be different than it was at the deadline, but I think they got to be in on.
Yeah, it's possible. It definitely is possible. And you bring up an interesting point. We'll come back and continue to touch on Marchand and the Leafs. And is he the guy now? Like, is he the one with Ekblad re-signing in Florida? You talk about a big personality, a game changer in terms of style and all that kind of stuff. Who else is out there that's available that would represent that for Tree Living? And the idea that maybe it is a shorter-term deal at a bigger dollar. Like, if you have some money for the next 2 years, is that the play? We'll come back and discuss that. We've got a big series start tonight down at the Dome. Jays, Yankees for 4. Jays take 2 or 3 down at Fenway. You got Max Scherzer back on the mound tonight. Carlos Rodon's been great for the Yankees. You got Max Fried tomorrow for the Yankees. 4 best pitchers on both sides. Both teams playing well. Jays 3 games back. We'll set the scene on that a little bit later this afternoon. There's all these rumors in the NHL and the NBA. We got a lot cooking this afternoon. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.